Hi, my name is Shane. I use she, her pronouns, and this is a game of Thirsty Cheerleading Lesbians, a light reskin of Thirsty Sword Lesbians from Evil Hat Games. This is our second of 3 sessions. It was organised through the Gauntlet community gaming calendar. The Gauntlet is a role-playing game community that organises and discusses a whole lot of indie role-playing games, story games, OSR games, things like that. If you would like to find out more or come play a game with us, we would love that. The website is gauntlet-rpg.com. I'm just going to go around. Oh, well, we've got a character keeper, so let's just go in character keeper order and ask the players to introduce themselves. Just your name and pronoun and anything that you want to tell us about yourself. We'll do character intros a little later. But Daryl, do you want to go first?
Hello. My name is Daryl. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm an amateur game maker that can be followed on Twitter at Daryl Ross.
Cool. Chris?
I'm Chris. I don't play or make any games, but I play quite a bit of them. It's my first time playing with a group where I don't know anyone in real life on the Gauntlet. So,
Cool. Welcome.
Yeah. It's great to meet you all.
Great. Greg?
My name is Greg. My pronouns are he, him. I have been getting into narrative-based story games recently, and this is my first game with the Gauntlet community with people I don't know either. So, welcome, Chris.
So before we get started, I just want to go over the safety tools that we'll be using.
Wait.
Oh, yeah?
Me.
I'm so sorry, Joe. I'm so
I
sorry.
totally forgot.
How embarrassing.
It's me too. Hi, I'm Joe. My pronouns are he, him. I don't really have that anything interesting to say, so you probably could have just me, but I just wanted to say hi.
You're very much appreciated. So sorry. What an embarrassing start to the session. I will try and actually include all of the players for the remainder of today. So just to briefly discuss the safety tools that we're using. So we're using the X card, which is to say if anything comes up in the game that you're not comfortable with, it isn't fun for you for any reason, you can just say X card. You can make an X card, an X with your hands. You can type an X in the chat. Any of those things, we'll just go back. We'll take out the content that's not good for you. You don't need to explain why. We'll all be happy to cooperate in that way. We also have the open door. The open door meaning if you need to leave, you can just go. If you don't, if the game's not what you thought you were signing up for, you can just leave. You can take a break whenever you need to. I would appreciate it if you feel like explaining why you need to go or just chucking a BRB in the chat or something like that. But if you just need to go, that's fine. The other safety tool that we're using is lines and veils. So, Chris, I think you've already used the character keeper, but I'm not sure if you will have had a chance to mark any lines and veils.
I did look at them already, and I think I was okay with them, so I just left them.
All right. So there's nothing that you want to add to those? All right. So just for clarity, lines are topics that just aren't going to come up in the game at all. We're just not going to discuss them. Veils are topics that might appear in the game, but they're not going to be a focus. They're just things that we'll skip over quickly or fade to black or something like that. Just to get us all on the same page, I'm going to read off that list again. So we have lines on drug abuse, racism, sexual assault, suicide, torture, homophobia, COVID-19 and pandemics, disordered eating, fat phobia, performance-enhancing drugs, self-harm, transphobia, child abuse, and excessive grieving. And we have veils on harm to animals, harm to children, kink, and student-teacher relations. So just generally, we're aiming for a sort of PG type game in the vein of Bring It On or kind of comparable light teen sports drama. If anyone notices anything that they'd like to add to those lists of lines and veils at any time, you're welcome to do that. The game also runs under the Gauntlet Community Code of Conduct, which you can find at the Gauntlet website if you want more information. So what I was wanting to do just in this opening section is to briefly recap sort of the story aspects of the last session, and then go around and get you all to introduce your characters and talk more about the sort of relationship dynamics and social stuff that happened in the last session. I figure that will sort of recap everything that's going to be relevant. And then we'll get Chris to introduce Katarina, and we'll do some entanglements for Katarina and stuff like that, and then we'll be ready to go. So, in terms of the plot, you are all cheerleaders at Rivono Junior College, defending national cheerleading champions, with this year's national championships fast approaching. You have a bitter rivalry with the nearby Holy Spirit College, who are your main rivals. And your squad also has a lot of problems with sort of clickiness and factions and internal rivalries and things like that. In our last session, Christina, one of your very best cheerleaders, suffered a devastating compound fracture and is out for the rest of the season. And that was especially bad for you because you were heading into Cheer Wars, a sort of underground cheerleading street battle where superstition holds that the winning team will always go on to win nationals. But at Cheer Wars, things got even worse for the team when River, the captain, defected to Holy Spirit after teaching them your routine. So that's the kind of overarching story of what's happened. Thanks, Darrell. I just saw your note in the chat. Going to go around now and just ask you to introduce your characters. So I might just start us off with the three that were here last time, and then I'll get Chris to introduce Katarina. So, Darrell, do you want to start off introducing Ursula?
Yeah, so I am playing Ursula Tendro, who is the scoundrel with playful eyes and flowing clothes. Ursula drifts around the squad a lot and chases after whoever has her fancy currently. That was for a moment Ashley, and then for a moment London, and then for a moment Ashley again, and then for a moment Madison, and then for a moment London again. So, yeah, basically, she goes where the wind takes her, and certain moves she has are she gets smitten very easily, likes to provide emotional support, and yeah.
Cool. Greg, do you want to introduce Ashley?
Yes, Ashley is from a small town evangelical background, and so this move up to college is like moving to the big city for her. She's a little bit of a fish out of water, and has some feelings that she just doesn't quite understand yet. She was very taken with Ursula for a while, but as Ursula's attention wanders, her heart's been a little broken. And now she's very concerned about the direction that things have taken with the team. Ready to give her all to fix it.
Great. And Joe, do you want to introduce Madison?
Yes, I am playing Madison Brandt. Madison is gender fluid. They use they, them pronouns. Madison had a rough upbringing, which is why she tends to walk around with a challenging glare and likes to wear leather. They used to cheer for the rival school, Holy Spirit. They used to go to Holy Spirit College, and they were a gymnast there. But there was a major scandal that involved bribing judges. Some people went to jail. Madison was caught up with it, and as a result, could no longer compete in gymnastics at that school. So they made the decision to transfer to this school and cheerlead, because there isn't anything like the gymnastics program that Holy Spirit had, but their cheerleading program is top notch. So they've been on the team for a little bit. But because they are the infamous Paybook, people don't always trust them right away. And because they do sometimes have a tendency to act without thinking, it tends to generate a lot of drama.
Cool. So Chris, do you want to introduce Katarina?
Yeah, so I don't have that much detail, but I kind of imagine Katerina as like a transfer from a small town religious school out from the boonies, wherever we are located. Um, uh, Her family is highly religious, so I have the chosen playbook, and she is struggling with, religion versus, I guess, her real truth and stuff like that. She's her family. I guess I imagine her parents are leaders in her church, so like the pastor's wife. So she's always wearing fancy, like, clothes. And yeah.
Cool. What moves does she have?
What?
Does she have
Oh,
what
moves. I
Yeah.
chose. Hold on, let me go back. Let me scroll. I chose gossip and don't you know who I am. Plus the move that you have to take, which is a faded day approaches. Do you want me to read them or?
I mean, just tell us about them if you want, or
Yeah,
you don't have to.
so the faded day approaches. Whenever I miss an opportunity to make progress towards your destiny, choose one, and then it gives me someone with power over you makes an uncomfortable demand in furtherance of your destiny, backed by a threat, or someone cares about you is hurt enough to make them stagger. Gossip, when you see insight about a person, spending some time with them, gossiping with those who know them, roll wit, and then I can learn secrets about them, basically.
Cool.
And then I forgot that the character keeper didn't match up with the playbook.
Oh yeah, that's annoying. Sorry, we're using a version of the character keeper from the beta test of the game.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
That may not have.
I was looking at the playbooks when I created it. So
Yeah.
let me see. Don't you know who I am? When you meet someone who knows you by reputation, you decide roll plus heart. Say two things they've heard about you, or I say one, and you say one.
Cool. So the chosen playbook is kind of focused on her destiny. Like, what is Katarina's destiny?
To become like the next leader of her parents' church.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Whatever that is, like the pastor or priest. I haven't decided if it's like I'm going to say Protestant, probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ashley also comes from quite a small, quite religious, faith-based sort of community. Do you think you guys know each other from back home, or are they rivalrous religious groups?
Maybe we could be rival religious groups, I don't know.
Like a narcissism of small differences,
Yeah,
very similar Protestant cults kind of thing.
Were you from a small town? I didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was thinking small town Iowa.
We could be from adjacent small towns, and
adjacent rival small towns.
Yeah, by adjacent, it's 30 miles away, but and maybe since I'm assuming that I went to a Christian school in that small town, when I was younger, so maybe they had that happens a lot, churches form schools.
Yeah.
Right.
And has Katarina cheerleaded much before? Is she coming in as an existing star cheerleader? Is she someone who doesn't have much experience but is going to have to step up now that things have hit the fan?
I think that yes, but not the kind of level that it's like small town cheerleading. It's not gymnastics in the same way, so probably more inexperienced. So they have a very different idea of what cheerleading is.
Okay, some experience. Okay, cool.
Some experience,
right.
but not crazy.
Yeah. So the next thing that I'm going to get you to do, Chris, is make 2 entanglements for Katarina. So the entanglements doc is in the folder that I shared with you.
Let me go back to it. Okay, I see it.
So basically, the way it works is you get one relationship entanglement and one general entanglement, and you'll see that all of them have space to fill in two names. And the idea is that one of those names will be one of the other player characters, and one of the names will be an NPC. It can be it can be an existing NPC that we've established, or you can introduce someone new to the story.
Okay. So to get this straight, the two of them, one of the X and one of the YY has to be a player or NPC. It's one or the other, but it doesn't matter which one it is. Like, does it have to?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like the first one, I have a crush on X, but I think they're in love with Y. It can be I have a crush on a PC, but I think they're in love with an NPC, or it can be I have a crush on an NPC, but I think they're in love with a PC.
Does anyone have any suggestions? Since I guess your characters will be involved.
I mean, everybody has a crush on Ursula.
That's true. It looks like from the sheet.
I think that in actual fact, everyone has a crush on Ashley. When I looked at the character keeper getting ready for today's game, that seemed like the center of all smitten relationships.
She kind of is, yeah.
She's just so wholesome.
Okay.
There's also Christina, who is the cheerleader who just got injured. It might be interesting to have an entanglement with her.
Yeah. There's also the coach. There's River, the team captain, who's just betrayed you. There's a couple of other cheerleaders on the squad that we could introduce if you want to.
Is there? Do I have to choose like one from each general and relationship, or does it not matter? It's just
one from each category.
One from each. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want some time to think about it? I might just ask Joe something separate while you do that if you want.
Well, the general one might be easier. If the parent, I can do the parent one. Your parent XX. Well, that doesn't improve your cheerleading. So you pretend you're working on an extracurricular project with, I guess, one of you guys. Who would I know? I guess it would be the easiest to get around with the whole religious thing, right?
Now, I suggest, if this works for people, maybe Madison would work well there. It would make sense that your parents don't really approve of that connection, but maybe you've befriended each other. Maybe you don't quite know about Madison's reputation yet. There may be a tension that came up during play.
Sure, let's do that. Should I copy it or?
Yeah, there's space in the character keeper for you to keep track of those. Is it mum or dad that doesn't approve?
Oh, I can't copy.
Oh.
If you copy and paste, yeah, you need to paste into the what is it called? There's the
bar at the top, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Google Docs is picky that way.
Okay, I got it. I didn't have a name for my parent. What's a good name?
You can just call it mum or dad if you want. Like, that will work fine.
I'm just gonna put my parents there.
Parents don't approve. Cool.
Yeah. Then Madison goes here. Okay. And then I need to choose a relationship one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what other people have chosen, so I don't. Okay. Who is London again?
London is a business student who has a crush on Madison and who Ursula at one point was pursuing.
Okay, and then who's the other person that you said had an injury or something?
Christina.
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 Tell me about Christina.
So Christina is one of 3 sort of mean girls on the cheer squad with Brittany and Gwen. She was the, Ursula might dispute this, but she was the best cheerleader on the squad, the best athlete at least. She's been hurt and won't be able to compete this year.
Okay. I guess I would just choose like I have a crush on X, but can't tell why because they never approve. I guess with Christina, it's fine, but I don't know who wouldn't approve out of here.
Well, who dislikes
approve.
Christina?
I don't approve. I dislike Christina. I mean, it's really sad about her gnarly leg snap, but still, it's just if you have a bad personality, like you only get so much pity.
Right. Right.
I just don't understand what's up with all of these church girls, like gravitating towards bad news.
Why did it paste like that? This is so...
So is there anything else that we need to recap or that anyone wants to clarify before we kick off for today's session?
There is actually... I apologize. I realized after our last session that I actually missed part of my character creation.
Oh.
Because I am the infamous, there's a step. Some of it is personal growth and personal, and I fill that in. But one of the things that I need to do is go around, explain my wicked past, explain what I did in the past, and then ask each PC what circumstances or subsequent deeds could make it possible to forgive this past. So I don't know if we want to go forward with that,
yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I mean, maybe this is where you're going to have to define a little more clearly what exactly Madison did.
Yeah. So what was going on was that there were parents of gymnasts who were bribing coaches and bribing judges so that their kids would get better spots, better grades, better marks, better etc. Like try to fast lane them to some kind of like minor fame. Madison was a courier. She was a go-between. She was the one who would run like the money from this person to this person, and they turned a blind eye. Like they knew what was going on, but they turned a blind eye to it because they really wanted to get in with this group of people that were sort of running things. They're like, okay, well, these are the successful, connected people. I want to get in with them. And so when the fallout happened, Madison got a slap on the wrist, but really didn't get they very much were like, this poor kid didn't know any better.
And do you feel like the scandal is that they were involved in this like maybe not even quasi criminal activity, or is the scandal that they escaped punishment?
It depends on who you ask. For Madison, it's definitely that they escaped punishment. They would probably feel a lot better if they'd gotten some more serious punishment.
Sure. All right. And so we're asking now everyone what it would take for them to forgive you for this.
Yeah.
Is that right?
For being like a runner?
Yeah, for being a runner, for being involved.
And for getting off almost scot-free.
And I think we said in last game, specifically, I don't know if we want to get into this, but Ashley said that she was specifically hurt by this because she wanted to attend that school but couldn't because of the scandal.
Mhm.
Right. My family wanted me to go to a religious school, and then that blew up. And
So, Ashley, what would it take for you to forgive?
I think some sort of public confession and repentance is called for. That's kind of the way we do things in our community.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, at some point you'd have to stand up and say that you knew what was going on and you let it happen, and that's all on you.
Yeah. Thank you.
What? So I think we suggested that Katerina may not know about this yet, but if she does, or if she was to find out, what would it take to forgive Madison?
Given that like Madison is helping me like skirt around the whole cheerleading thing, I think like maybe some kind of cheerleading achievement.
Yep.
Because like
For
really
you?
what my character wants is to not do the whole church thing and like
Okay.
go somewhere else, you know, do something else. And so this is like
So
Okay, that's
helping you get some kind of cheerleading achievement?
you're helping me escape religion right now.
And
Madison seems uniquely qualified to help with escaping familial commitment.
I seem to be good at it.
And Ursula, what about you?
I think that you know what, there has to be some sort of like restorative community angle to this for me to really forgive Madison for what they did. Just because like that harms people in our community, and of course as a poli-sci major, I'm very invested in like the what happens to our communities in kind of a sincere way, but also in a very political way.
And what would that look like? Like what is it?
You know, I think it's probably like community work. Like I want to see you at like a soup kitchen, or like helping out like a shelter, or like I don't know, building a pergola in a park or something.
Great.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Cool. So when we left off last week, we were still at Cheer Wars, and Madison, had attempted to salvage the team's reputation, standing, by pretty much single-handedly offering a cheer routine as the squad sort of fell apart around them. And you rolled Defy Danger, and I think you rolled an 8, or at least you definitely rolled a 7 to 9, which meant that I have to give you a hard choice or success with a sacrifice. And we held that result off until today. So I'm going to give you a hard choice, or I'm going to try to. Basically, what I'm thinking is that some people were impressed with what you did, and some people just think it was completely humiliating and cringe and like a contemptuous. And your hard choice is it that the public and your former school thought it was great, but the squad thinks it was embarrassing? Or is it that the squad was impressed with what you did, but your reputation with the general public and your former school has taken a hit?
To lead into what I want to do next, it's the general public and my former school are the ones who are impressed.
Okay.
And my squad are the ones who are like, that is so cringe.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're no longer at Cheer Wars. We're going to frame a couple of scenes before we get to training. Is there any particular scenes that people are wanting to start with, or Joe?
Yes. I want to blow off morning classes and go visit Christina in the hospital.
Oh, nice. I think that you might run into Katerina there, who also might be visiting Christina.
Oh.
If that's all right. But maybe we'll start with Madison visiting Christina, and then I might try and introduce Katerina into the scene, if that's okay with you, Chris.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. So Madison, tell us about what happens.
So, it's very obvious when we first see Madison that they have been awake a lot of the night. When we first see them, they are walking down the hallway toward Christina's room. And they are carrying something that was obviously bought at the hospital gift store. That is probably completely not what Christina would like. I'm thinking either a very large, stupid-looking teddy bear, or like a book of like inspirational Bible verses. Yeah, or no, it is a like 1.5 foot tall stuffed animal with an inspirational Bible verse on its belly.
Beautiful.
And I head into Christina's room. I sort of look around the corner, see who's there, sort of.
Yeah, so like there's a few other people in the hospital room. It's a ward with a few beds.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Christina is quite surrounded by flowers. She's been well attended to by friends and family. She has the remains of an unappetizing breakfast sort of pushed away on a little roller table over the end of her bed, and I think she probably has some headphones on. She's watching some television.
Yeah.
In the corner. She doesn't notice you at first.
I walk over. If there's like a spare chair,
mm-hmm.
I like put the bear in the chair. And then I like push the bear over like it's a wheelchair.
So she glances, she sees what's happening. There's some eye rolling, and she pulls the headphones sort of begrudgingly, or like performs the begrudgingness, drags the headphones off her head, and looks over and says, "Oh, hello, Madison.
Hey, Christina. Hospital food really bad?"
She kind of smiles and shrugs. She says, "Yeah, you know what it's like."
Yeah, I've been in a few times myself. So I move I then realize, like, if I'm going to have to sit down in this chair, I'm going to have to move the bear. So I move the bear. I think is her leg like elevated in a cast, or is it?
Yeah, I imagine it's elevated. There's a cast. There's like a wire frame kind of holding it together. It's a pretty bad break.
I 100% put the bear like under the hanging cast.
She has a look of fear on her face that this is going to jostle her leg somehow, but I think you successfully navigated under, and she narrows her eyes to a glare, but she accepts it as well. Thanks, Madison. It's very cute.
Yeah. I had no idea what you would actually want, so I just went with something that I knew you for sure wouldn't want, and then that way I thought it'd be funny.
Well, you were right. It was definitely something that I wouldn't want. Are you interested in rolling in dice, or do you want to play out the scene some more? Like,
I want to play a little bit more, but yeah, eventually this is going to be in a dice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's definitely got a hostile demeanor as you come in.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm just kind of going on fumes here. So if I say something else stupid, we just put it down to that.
Well, couldn't really be much more stupid than your little performance last night, I guess.
Well, yeah, you're right there. Still, I mean, I was there and I did something, and that was all I could do. Out of character. As soon as I say that, I realize how it sounds, and I sort of like, oh, that is not.
What are you doing here, Madison?
Okay, well, partly I'm here because I wanted to see you, because I mean, this just fudging sucks, you know. I don't know how bad it is, but I mean, it looks bad.
I imagine we just get this like brief close up on this like gnarly metal frame poking out of her leg.
Just looks bad. But I also had a question for you.
Go on.
I suppose Gwen and Brittany told you about what happened last night?
Everyone told me about what happened last night. The group chat is on fire.
Yeah. Was River standing close to you when you fell?
What an interesting question. I think that the way I would like to resolve this is to get you to roll the emotional support move.
Okay.
And one of the outcomes that can produce on a success is that you either find out something from the GM or define something about the fiction.
Okay.
And that would be where there's scope for you to move that forward. So I think that you are offering support in a way that could be meaningful to them. So roll with heart or spirit.
Okay. I am going to... Excuse me. I'm going to go with heart.
Okay.
Because that's better than spirit. Oh, 9.
9. So let's see. On a 9, they get to choose. Oh, so that means that Christina gets to choose one from the list. So, but I think it makes sense that you get some insight. You can declare something that significantly changes or adds to the established fiction. So, you tell us, was River close?
River wasn't close, because obviously, in case it's not obvious, like what I'm asking is, did River have anything to do with the interaction?
Yeah, did River like showgirls her down the stairs?
And what I want to say is, no, River didn't, but somebody else did.
Do you want to define who that is, or do you want it to sort of hang as a mystery?
I want to leave it hang as a mystery now. I kind of know like who I have in my mind, but I kind of want to leave it hang as a mystery.
So I think that Christina tells you something along the lines of, no, River was over the other side of the gym, but, you know, now that she's thinking about where people were, she does, you know, she thinks for a second, there was something strange, like somebody's hand where it shouldn't have been, or an extra body. I don't know. And I think that's where Katerina comes in. Katerina, you see your friend Madison, probably unexpectedly visiting Christina.
Mm-hmm.
Have you brought a gift of any kind?
I probably brought like, I bet my church has like merch, like a devotional or something, like a small pocketbook one, and I bring that with like a little like a little pressed flower in it, and I put it down like somewhere like hidden behind something. When I walk in, I guess I don't expect Madison to be here, so I just kind of like, oh hey, Christina, I thought you'd be by yourself.
I think that she'll reply, yeah, I thought I'd be by myself too, in a sort of pointed way at Madison.
It's okay. I was just leaving.
No, it's okay. You can say. I just wanted to see how Christina's doing.
Okay. I get up and offer Katerina the chair.
I don't sit down.
I go stand awkwardly in the corner.
So Katerina, Like, what's Katarina going to do here? Like, do you want to try and figure out Christina or maybe Madison or?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Christina is or not Christina. Katarina is really well versed in what to do here. So just try to make like small talk and like maybe awkwardly sign the cast.
Yeah, so I think Christina will sort of wince awkwardly as you sign the cast. I'm assuming that like you have a crush on Christina, but like you haven't done anything about that.
Yeah.
But do you think that Christina knows that, or is it something that you've kept like fully inside?
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know about if Madison knows.
Well,
no.
Probably not.
So I mean, I think that probably the moves that make sense here is that you're either trying to figure out something about Christina or you're trying to entice her in some way. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
What do you think? Which of those?
I think I would rather figure out. I think maybe I try to give her like the devotional, like while I'm over there signing her cast awkwardly. I write a little note in the front page, like something dumb and like cliche, about hoping that she feels better, and draw like some hearts in there.
Okay. I mean, I think that you are. I think that's more like entice. Like you're trying to appeal to her physical or romantic sensibilities.
All right.
So roll plus heart.
The room. Oh, let me see what my. Let's go back to the sheet. I don't remember my numbers. +1. Okay. I've not used a room like this before.
It should be pretty straightforward, but let us know if you having any trouble.
Okay. I put my name here.
Yeah, you'll have to enter your name.
Okay.
Hey, cool. So on a 7 to 9, you gain a string on them unless they decide instead to choose one. They can get flustered and awkward, promise something they think you want, or give in to deny it. So I think you get a string on Christina. So she doesn't really acknowledge it, but you do like have a moment. You sense that she is like, surprisingly touched on some level by the gesture that you've made. So just record on your character, on your character that you have a string. And I'm going to cut now to Ashley and Ursula. We'll come back to Madison and Katarina. So Ashley, you've been tutoring Ursula. We established that last session. And I think that the scene I want to frame is that the two of you are in one of these tutoring sessions. It's a free period. You're probably in the library. If you want to set the scene somewhere else, that's okay. And there's probably a lot to talk about after last night. Ashley, you can tell that Ursula is sort of in a bad way emotionally. And what I mean by that is I think Ursula has like 4 out of 5 conditions marked.
Yes. Whoa. Oh, whoa.
So
I just looked over. What happened?
There was a lot. So, like, it's open to you both to take this scene wherever you want, but I'm just kind of gesturing that Ashley may want to offer some emotional support. If Ursula would be receptive to that, or maybe we'll need to figure out Ursula a bit before you can really do that. What are you tutoring? Is there a particular subject? I think if it works, maybe history, because I imagine this being the kind of scene where... Sorry, I'm getting a little feedback. Could I get people to mute their microphones when they're not talking? Thank you. There's a scene in normally in the classroom, but we're tutoring now, where the teacher talks about something that's like thematically relevant to what's happening in the movie. So I think that you're talking about an example from history where probably a war or something. The army lost its leader. The leader defected to the other side, and there was a big question as to who was going to step up and lead, forward into victory. So you're talking about this history, and it's unescapable to both of you that this resonates with your present situation. Exactly, Madison. So the tutoring part of the session sort of breaks down when you realize that you've sort of stumbled onto the emotional content of last night, and you're going to have to talk about what's happening. So, Ursula, what do you say?
Oh my god, I'm already living through this. Why do I need to study it too?
Well, that's why we do study, because
If you say that the past is doomed to repeat itself, I will stop you.
we can learn from the past.
I mean,
obviously, look, there's some lessons here.
so some, old Russian dude betrayed the other Russian dudes, and then there was another war, and our skank of a cheer coach decided to betray us, and now there's a war. Do I got it?
Basically. But I think trying to understand why this guy betrayed his army, maybe we should look at that.
I mean,
I'm not saying she was wrong to do it, but I'm struggling to understand why.
listen, I think it's a little soon for the redemption arc aspect of this particular drama, so can we just, allow me to be mad for 5 seconds?
Well, I can't stop you.
Ursula just flops down and just starts I don't know, watching TikToks on mute on her phone, and just looks like she hasn't even gotten to sleep that night. She's got bags under her eyes. She there's probably a pimple that's forming on her forehead and stress induced, and she just looks like she's had it, and it's 10 a.m.
Ashley, do you want to roll to figure Ursula out?
Sure.
So roll plus wit.
Plus wit. Ah, okay.
Do you have a string on me? Because you could always spend the string to.
Oh, he's not
push it
going to
up.
need to.
Oh,
Okay.
So you can ask 2 questions from the list, now or later in the scene.
what have we got? Right now, how could I get you to cheer up and start dealing with this?
Those are 2 very different things.
We'll make that 2 questions then.
Okay, well, you could cheer her up by taking her to get something to eat, or you could get her to address and deal with it by telling her that a workout would do her some good, and then going to the gym and tumbling with her.
And
Hurt
Ashley,
comfort. Hurt comfort.
do you propose one or the other of those activities?
Yeah, I say, well, I think we've had enough history for right now. I think you're right. We're living through it right now. So why don't we take a break and maybe go to that coffee shop you like so much?
I'm absolutely dying for one of their breakfast wraps. Let's go.
All right. So, Ashley, I would like you to roll emotional support because that is really what you're trying to do here.
Okay.
So, roll plus heart or plus spirit. And you can, if you have a string on Ursula, I think you might, then you can use that as well if you need to. But roll first. Oh, nice. Another 10. So, on a 10 plus, if they open up to you, they choose one, and you either choose one or take a string on them. So, I guess, Ursula, like, what do you think? Do you open up to them?
Yeah, I think so. I think that like Ashley, as Ursula's eating, just like asks kind of the right questions, and then basically just like lets loose on this whole thing about how she feels like super betrayed by River, like not just because of like the obvious betrayal of it, but because like she and River like actually like sometimes are close and then sometimes are not. So we have this like on again, off again thing, like but this purely platonic actually, and like rarely for Ursula, but like that is surprising. It just like it took her by such surprise that she like doesn't really know what to do with it because she thought she was more aware than that.
Cool. So you can both choose one from the options that are available there.
I am no longer insecure. I need to
That's
get rid of some of these conditions.
yeah, that's great. And
I will take the +1 forward.
cool. And like, what happens then? Like, what? I mean, I'm curious what you've both ordered at the cafe as well. Like, what's happening? What are we eating or drinking?
Ursula's got like a 30-ounce triple shot espresso monstrosity with like whipped cream, and then like also like a breakfast burrito, and is very unceremoniously just like sitting there like devouring it.
Mm-hmm. What about Ashley?
Ashley, I think, has your sort of standard breakfast, eggs, ham, and hash browns, and soda.
Nice.
Nothing too weird. So.
All right. And as you have this conversation, I think that what happens is that the door opens and River walks in, catches that you're both there, turns her attention to the counter and walks straight up to order something. And let's take a break here, and then we'll come back and see what plays out. So if we come back at 9 minutes past the hour, I'm just going to get myself a coffee after all that discussion of triple espressos.
Sorry, 9 minutes past the hour or 5 minutes?
9. I
9.
need 10 minutes to get a coffee.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ursula, I'm drinking from your merch.
So that's great. I do love Ursula from Disney. Although I was hoping someone would actually recognize the reference that I made with the character. She's named after Utena Tenjo from Revolutionary Girl Utena, and Ursula was the name she was originally going to get if they had like changed all the names for English.
Nice.
Ah, yeah, I recognize the Tenjo bit.
Yeah, I was like really fried 2 weeks ago when we made these characters, and I was just like, I need a name, any name. Okay, not like an actual anime character name.
I love that series.
It's so good. It's one of my favorites. Very in the vein of Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't really watched much anime at all, but it sounds pretty cool. I've heard people on the Gauntlet talk about it quite a bit.
I think someone actually did a game of Thirsty Sword Lesbian set in a private school with duels.
Oh my god, I would
There's-
absolutely adore that.
I think there's also a Hearts of Woollin setting that's based on it.
I literally upped my pledge when that one was revealed. I was like, take my money. So, well, and Jamie did Fireblades. Oh
my god.
Whoa.
That was intense. That was like Blair Witch Project.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else I was about to say matters.
Sorry, I had my infrared cam on.
Wow.
Which I didn't realize was a thing I could do, so.
It was impressive.
Oh, it's
Quite the
back.
effect. Oh my god.
Hold on. How does it do that? Why is it sideways?
It's a great question.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, now we're playing Murderous
Did you know
Ghosts.
the camera has an IR camera? Wow.
Okay.
Well,
so
that's an option.
there are some games that's going to be so good for, and this is probably not that
It was
game.
the first time I've ever I didn't even know that was an option because it doesn't show up. Like another, I've never used StreamYard before, so maybe it
Right.
had that as an option. But usually it just says front camera, back camera.
Right. So we'll come back to the cafe, but I figure that maybe we'll pick up with Madison and Katerina heading back to school together, if that works for the two of you.
Right, I forgot we were doing that.
Like, we can just have you arrive back at school, but is there anything that you want to talk about on your way back? Like, Madison, do you want to share your suspicions? Or Katerina, do you want to... Oh, sorry, go on then.
I do, but I want to hand this over to Chris first. Is there anything in particular you want to
do first?
Yeah.
Are we walking back or are we? Is it far?
I'm gonna say Madison came here on an Uber. Or in an Uber, not on an Uber. Madison normally rides a motorcycle, but I'm thinking she was a little frazzled this morning and is like, yeah, I'll take an Uber instead.
Okay.
So would the two of you get an Uber back to school, or would you take the, long but not unbearable walk, or would you catch a bus, or like, how do you see yourselves traveling?
I think a walk is fine, or like some kind of public transportation.
Yeah, so I think it's a longish walk.
I think we could take a walk. I'm definitely not in a hurry to get to class.
Yeah, so that way we can talk about. You can hash out everything.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, perfect. So, is Katerina a nickname person? Does she have a nickname?
Oh, you can call me Kat.
Okay. Actually, I was thinking Madison would probably call you Rena because probably most people don't call you Rena. I don't know if. How is that?
That's fine.
Is that okay? Okay. Oh, Rena, I am so glad I don't have to be nice to that B-switch anymore. I mean, I'm sorry she broke her leg, but I'm really, really happy I do not have to.
I don't think she's that bad of a person. I mean, I know I haven't been around that long, but she hasn't, been mean to me or anything. So,
well,
she's actually quite nice.
You're one of the few people. It's not that she's mean. It's that she every day wakes up and looks like somebody rubbed crap under her nose. Despite the fact that she has every damn thing in the world.
I feel like you're projecting. Well, why did you go visit her in the hospital then? I saw that teddy bear.
I mean, I had a question for her. I wanted to check in about something, but also I felt guilty. I mean, I don't like being happy that somebody's hurt.
Okay. What did you want to ask her?
I wanted to ask if River was anywhere near her when she fell. I wanted to know if it wasn't enough that River went over to Holy Spirit, but that she was going to, she'd sabotage the team as well.
Would I know what happened with River, like as someone coming in from the outside, or not?
I think there's enough gossip around the school about what's
Oh,
happened. You
okay.
you might have even been in the audience. Like lots of people go to watch cheer wars, even if they're not cheerleaders
Right.
themselves.
Okay. Why do you think River did something?
I wasn't sure, but honestly, I mean, if she would, those people didn't learn that that routine overnight.
Okay.
This must have been weeks in planning, and the whole time she lied to us completely to our faces. So why wouldn't
you don't
she?
think it could have just been an accident? I mean, cheerleading is high stakes. There's a lot on the line.
It is. But after talking with Christina, I don't think it was an accident. I don't think it was River, but I don't think it was an accident.
Who do you think it was? Someone on our team?
Someone on our team. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly who yet, but I've got an idea that might help us find out. It's not a good idea.
What's your idea?
You sure you want to know?
Well, it involves Christina, so yeah.
Why does that matter?
It just does.
Okay. And I
What's
take
your plan?
I take my phone and I show it to Rena. And on the phone, I've started a group message with a couple of people on the team, a very obviously carefully selected, like Gwen is in there. A couple of the bases that were around when Christina fell are there. And this is actually me using my move. Always suspect.
Okay.
When you pretend to be a villain to win a villain's trust, they trust you enough to offer you an opportunity and gain a string on them.
Amazing.
So the message to these people is like, can't believe you had the ovaries to pull that off yesterday.
I have never ever heard anyone say that.
Whatever else you're planning, I want it.
And so, sorry, that's going to Gwen and Brittany and
Gwen and Brittany, a couple of the bases, not Craig and Elton.
Yeah. So select team members. Yeah. Probably the only ones that we've named so far would be Gwen and Brittany, but exactly. Some of their kind of loyalists or on that side of the squad. The people who that with whatever it was that Christina told me are ones that are now suspect. All right. And the move says that they offer you an opportunity. Yes. Right? And then I must choose one of the following options. Someone watching comes to the worst possible conclusion. The villain requires an act of villainy to prove your intentions first, or the villain is only pretending to trust you and the opportunity is a trap. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Okay. Great choices? Yes. So I think that maybe Brittany has messaged you back to say that they'll meet you out front of the school, and that's where that's where you're headed right now. Okay. Chris, I want to get Katarina into the actual cheerleading part of the game.
I haven't cheerleaded yet.
So my question to you is, what has Madison? So there's a vacancy on the team now, right? The best athlete is out. They're going to have to recruit someone. What has Madison? There's two. That's true. There's two. Good call. What has Madison seen of Katarina that makes Madison think you'd be a good addition to the squad? Sorry, Madison. I'm just going to ask Katarina first.
You're going to ask me what makes me a good addition?
No, what has Madison seen that makes them think you'd be a good addition? If you want to think about it, I can cut to another scene and come back to you.
maybe I went to one of the shows that you guys were in before. Like that's where I got my crush on Christina. And maybe I like practice in secret, but not really secret, like tumbling or something basic, like a cartwheel, or just do cartwheels from the gym after school.
So yeah, that's cool. So then my follow-on question to Madison is like, you've seen Katarina just doing like pretty basic tumbling, but what is it that makes you think that she would actually be an asset to the team?
Katarina's a chosen. Chosen naturally draw people to them.
What do I have like a crowd watching me do cartwheels?
Like we don't need somebody. We don't need an excellent tumbler or an excellent flyer or an excellent baser. Like we don't need a spectacular gymnast. What we need right now is somebody who can unite the team
with cartwheels.
With cartwheels
and presence
and presence.
Yeah,
and inspirational Bible verses. Although we might want to leave that part out.
I'm like a fresh face, you know. A new, fresh, young face to the team.
So Madison, do you invite Katarina to training tonight to try out?
Yes. In fact, I think.
Do I know it's a tryout?
Sorry.
Do I know it's a tryout?
So,
like it's. Sorry, go on.
Because I think this isn't the first time I brought up Katarina joining the group. So what have you said so far every time that I've said, like, you know, you really should try this and see if it's something you like?
Oh, I had church after school.
Perfect. So
I have what are they called, after school service, like on Wednesday nights, but it's like every night.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You don't.
Joe, do you want to roll to figure Katarina out to see if you can work out how to get her to skip the after school service?
I think that's a great idea. Figure someone out.
Plus wit.
Wit. Oh, 1. Okay, nice.
Oh shit.
I rolled a 6.
Do you have a string that you could use?
I don't have one on Katarina, no.
All right. Well, I will come back to the two of you. At the cafe, Ashley and Ursula, you've seen River walked in. She's at the counter. She's ordering something. Ashley, you've been like fairly attentive to Ursula's emotional state, and I think you can see some like frothing rage starting to erupt. Do you say anything?
Ursula, just calm down. Breathe in, breathe out.
She glares at you like death glare, 6 feet under, just like. And you can like see like she's got a grip on her cell phone, and it's like really tight. You hear the leather on the case like creak.
And then Ursula, are you going to do anything?
Why not? I'm a disaster child anyway. So even with my like -2, I think I'm gonna like stand, like slam hands on table, stand up, and like stalk over to her.
She'll, without turning towards you, smile and say, "Hi, Ursula."
And Ursula just, don't you hi Ursula me. We talked like 2 hours before that. And you didn't say a damn word.
What should I have said?
Maybe that you were going to throw us all under the cheer bus? You know, giving me a little bit of a heads up?
So she turns towards you at this point. She says, "I did not throw you under the cheer bus. The squad has been a mess this year. The bus has hit the squad. There was no way Ravona was going to win this year, but I am going to win. That's all you need to know. And it's not too late for you to get on the right side of this.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna say like, I look her up and down and I scoff it and I say, "You couldn't win as a captain. You're not gonna win as a follower either."
Whoa.
So I think you can roll the move that I have renamed after last week: strike out with words or cheerleading. So roll with daring or grace.
Okay, so my daring is a +1, so I'm gonna try that one. Let's see here.
But you're at -2, I think.
Because it's fight that one.
Yeah, it's fight.
Okay. So it's 2d6 +1 -2 for okay. Did that work?
An 8. Yep.
Is it? Cool.
So wait, you've rolled with +1 rather than -1, so that is actually a 6.
Is it? Okay, so if it's 2d6 +1 and it's a 4 and a 3, that's a 7. +1 -2, 6. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It did not do. I tried to use the typey script. It did not work.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Let's see.
Cool. Yeah, I failed miserably, like I knew I would.
Sorry, can I again just ask people to mute themselves when they're not talking? I'm still getting some feedback. Thanks. So River seems immune to your words. She smiles, she chuckles a little. She picks up a glazed cherry from the top of the sundae that she's just ordered and demonstratively places it inside her mouth. And she says, "Come on, Ursula. You know, there's no reason for us to be rivals, to be enemies. We would make much better friends." And she reaches into her mouth and draws out the cherry stem neatly tied into a knot and lays it on the counter in front of you.
She is a monster and I love her. I have staggered. I am definitely staggered.
All right. So what happens for staggered?
Okay, so let me double check. I have 3 conditions marked. Okay, so on a 0 to 3, I can choose one from below. I'm gonna show it someone who guard. Hesitate or stumble, and then I grin and bear the blow and mark 2 conditions, which means all of my conditions are filled because I just want to see what happens.
So if you have to mark another condition, then you're going to be taken out of the scene in some way.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And it's just one of those things where like I smile and just robotically turn around and walk right out of the cafe. I'm leaving Ashley where she sits.
All right. I'm going to have River take a string on you as well. All right. Ashley, what do you do? Has Ashley ever seen anything like a hot young cheerleader tie a cherry stem in a knot with her tongue before?
Oh, no. She's intrigued, but not quite sure what to make of that. So, but she'll make a beeline for River and just say, "What did you say to her?"
Do you want to roll to figure her out, or do you want to like role play the scene a little more?
Role play it a bit more.
Yeah. She says, I just reminded her how much good I could do her. What about you, Ashley? How much good could I do you?
Well, for one, you could drop this ridiculous thing with Holy Spirit.
It's not a ridiculous thing, Ashley. It's over for Ravona. There's no way that you can come back from this. That's why you should make some smart decisions right now.
Out of character now, I'm wondering if that would hit my move for it wasn't all bad. Yes, share a relevant story from my home culture.
Sure. Go on.
You know, River, I've seen people strike out on their own before when they didn't think they were getting what they needed. But really, you know, in the end, I think it's best when you realize that, you know, your home and your friends are there for you. And I've seen it happen. You can come back.
Are you going to tell the like parable of the prodigal son? Is that where this is going? Go ahead and roll with spirit.
Okay. +2. A 7.
7. So you gain a string on them. Gain a string on River. And in either case, they also tell you something interesting or useful about their upbringing. How interesting. What will she tell you? So she tells you that she didn't grow up in a nice little religious community like you. She grew up in the big city of, sorry, I don't know enough about American geography to like name the city, but she says the big city of, and she names just like a deeply unimpressive, like small city. You know what I mean? Like
Milwaukee or something.
Okay, that's great. I grew up on the mean streets of Milwaukee. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I don't need his home cheer squad. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna go on to a lucrative career in the cheer industries, the cheer arts, and I will never think about Ravona College again after nationals. After we beat you at nationals. And I think with that, she'll turn to leave unless you stop her.
No, I'll just say, I'll pray for you.
She lets out an audibly exasperated gasp. All right. So I'm going to cut back to the front of the school. Madison, you have this like sort of meeting set up with Brittany out here. Are you going to bring Katerina along, or are you going to try and separate first? Are you going to explain what's happening? Like, what are you...
I think I'm going to bring Katerina along if she's willing. Actually, yes, I
Yeah.
do bring Katarina along. This is perfect. This will be my. But first, okay. So listen, Rena. What I'm about to do is both stupid and probably dangerous. So
Okay. How dangerous? Like,
well, I mean, if these are the people I think they are, they've already let one of their best friends break their leg.
okay. What's your stupid idea?
I'm gonna try and convince them that I'm on their side, and that I'm gonna try and throw nationals. And I'm going to convince them that there's a way to win some money doing that with betting. And I'm going to convince them that you're my ringer. You're going to come in. I'm going to convince them that you're going to join the team. And then you'll be the one to throw it because they won't suspect you.
I don't think I can do that. That sounds illegal.
Is that illegal? That's probably illegal.
I don't think my parents will like that.
Yeah, well, your parents don't have to know.
And
nobody has to know, because it's not going to get that far. This is going to let me expose them. And then once we have them exposed.
I'm going to be pretty busy with like church and everything. So.
Rena?
Mm-hmm.
Christina didn't break her leg because she fell. Christina broke her leg because someone sabotaged her. And if we don't catch the people who did it, they're going to do it to someone else.
Someone else on the team?
Someone else on the team. Maybe even, yeah, probably someone else on the team.
Are you going to tell Christina what we're doing?
Do you want me to tell Christina what we're doing?
Maybe.
I'll send her a message if you want.
But make it like cash, like super cash, right?
Just casually tell her you think her best friend got her leg broken. You know, complicated scheme to win cheerleading nationals for their rivals.
Okay, I'll do it.
Do you want me to like mention you to Christina Super Cash? Because I'm thinking I'm probably not a good wingman for you in that situation.
Well, you're the only one I've got, so like.
I could tell her that. Well, if I tell her I think that you suck, you're totally stuck up.
It's not like I can talk to anyone else on the team.
What's that?
It's not like I can talk to anyone else right now. I mean, like, you're my only friend on the team right now.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? If you join the team, eventually you can get in. I
can't join the team.
Okay.
I mean, I can go to all your games, and I can.
If you were to join the team, I understand that you're saying you can't, but if you were to, that does get you closer to Christina.
But she's not even going to be at practice.
No, but once her leg is good enough that she can leave the hospital, she will be at practice. Trust
me.
That's
like 3 months away.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how long it's going to take before she can leave the hospital.
It takes 3 to 6 months, I think.
Okay.
No, not to leave the hospital, but like to get your cast off and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, because as soon as she can leave the hospital, she'll be at practice, even if she still got the cast. Trust me, it's Christina. She will not miss practice. She won't do anything, but she'll be there, not doing anything, and you can be there and have an opportunity to chat with her. You know, cash.
Yeah, super cash, right?
Super cash.
I'll think about it. I will. Yeah. I'll try it out. I'll think about it.
You can back out at any time. It's fine.
Doesn't sound like I can back out any time. You're gonna maybe do this whole weird illegal thing.
No, you can back out at any time. Trust me.
So I think at this point you have to kind of end the conversation because you've arrived at the school gate and Brittany's there waiting for you. She says, Madison, Katarina,
Brittany.
You want to talk, Madison? You seemed like you were implying something in your message. What do you want to say to me?
You know, I kind of like lean. I lean casually against the school gate. You know, I'm being cash.
Now we're just using the word.
Look, I'm not saying anything did happen. I'm not saying anything didn't happen. But with the fact that River's gone and the fact that Christina hurt herself, well, I mean, that leaves 2 spots open in the hierarchy of the team, doesn't it? And obviously somebody's going to have to move in and fill those spots.
What, you think that you're going to be the captain?
Oh, God, no. No, I don't want to be the captain. 1, too much work. 2, that I'd have to interact with the rest of the team. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like, yesterday at practice, somebody moves up into Christina's spot. We still got a chance at nationals. Hell, maybe we even have a better chance at nationals. Christina was okay. But with Christina out and River gone, we're not getting to nationals. Like, we can all talk a big game if we want, but the fact is we're not going to win. The team is already half broken with losing the competition yesterday.
You're not telling me anything I don't know. What are you trying to say, Madison?
Well, hang on. I'm just making sure you know that I'm on the same page as you. So, 2 people move up into those spots. That leaves 2 spots open. We got to hold some tryouts. Maybe we bring in some alternates. But here's the thing. We're not going to win nationals anyway. So why not, turn this to our advantage? Why not put ourselves in a position to benefit from it?
Got a lot of experience with that sort of thing, don't you, Madison?
That's the first smart thing you've said, Brittany. Yeah, you're right. Shut up. You're right. I do have a lot of experience with this, which is why you should stop talking and listen to me, which is why you stop trying to stop burning me and listen to what I'm saying. Whoever dropped Christina yesterday, that's a total showgirls move. Oh, impulse in the minute, push someone out of the way, you get to move up the rank. I'm talking about actually setting yourself up for success. Past nationals, past the cheerleading team, going on for, the rest of your life, or at least some of it.
Well,
you interested?
What would I have to do?
Katerina here. Now, she's not got a lot of experience, but she's got gym work. She can tumble. Not great, but she can tumble. More importantly, she motivates people. She's exciting. She's fresh. She's new. You give her a push to be on the team. Obviously, you can't just wave her in unless they make you captain. You push her to be on the team. We do well enough at nationals that it looks like we tried. And, I make some arrangements for us to benefit.
All right. So, Joe, at this point, I want you to choose which of the options for the move you're going to take.
Okay. The option that I really like is someone watching comes to the worst possible conclusion.
Yeah. So I think that might be Ursula. So I think that Ursula might get back to school around now and see Madison having, you don't hear what they're saying, but you can tell there's something conspiratorial about what Madison and Brittany are talking about. Katarina's there too. You don't really know why. Ursula, you're just like a mess of emotions right now. Are you going to intercede directly, or are you going to save it till later? What do you do?
I think that the only reason that they realize I'm there is because there's this weird there's flash, and y'all look up and you see that I've just taken a photo of you scheming. I just tuck my cell phone and turn my back and stomp away.
Beautiful. Brittany said. So Brittany looks at you, Madison, and you as well, Katarina, and says, "Look, I'm happy for Katarina to join the team. I've seen you do some cartwheels. You seem like you're all right. But she." And she points in the direction that Ursula has just stomped off. She is going to be a problem. She has always wanted to be the captain of this team. She is not going to fall in line with whatever little scheme you're cooking up. So if you want this to go ahead, I need you, both of you, to vote for me for captain of the squad tonight.
You got it.
But I'm not part of the team yet. How am I supposed to vote?
Well, we'll work that out.
I can be moral support.
We need someone. You're someone. If Madison and me and a few of the others endorse you, you'll be part of the team.
Okay.
There's a vacancy. You might not know that.
Okay.
Do we have a deal? You get on the team. You vote for me for captain.
We've got a deal.
Okay. Should we point toward Ursula? Do anything about that?
Ursula will burn herself out. Don't worry about it. She's all talk and no fight, that one.
I feel like I should go after Ursula and just make sure, because I don't want any rumors.
That's a good idea. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna, and then I'll just like scooch away. I guess I'll see you tonight. Probably.
See you tonight.
All right.
Definitely.
So I'll get you to catch up with Ursula in just a sec. But Madison, is there anything else you want to say to Brittany, or is that scene resolved?
I think that scene's resolved.
Yeah. Cool. So Ursula, do you go straight to class after you storm away, or do you stop somewhere to, share your photo? Do you go for a cigarette behind the portable? I don't know.
I'm gonna be the thing that I want to do, and feel free to nix this if you don't think it won't fit. But I'm just so low right now that I think I want to call in a toxic power.
Oh, what's the toxic power?
So I think it is the second in command of the rival cheer squad, whom I had an illicit summer fling with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on the warpath. I want to destroy everyone and everything.
I love this. So is the second in command, tell us a little bit about them.
I have to think of them. Let's just say, I'm just going to look at this NPCs thing and pick someone at random. So they are someone who is super comfortable being the second in command. They're like those power behind the throne characters who are, devious and mischievous in their own way, and have basically been half the reason that the other team got so good, but has no interest in kind of doing anything on her own to raise herself above that level. She's already got her plans on lock.
So what makes her toxic?
You know what? She used me to make someone else jealous. And I do not play that. I am the one who uses other people to make them jealous, not the other way around. I'm no one's tool.
All right. And so you're calling her, texting her, practically what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna I'm gonna slide into her Instagram DMs. I'm just gonna she posted a story, and I just double tap heart it and swipe up and just be like, hey. And I see that she's online already.
All right. So when you parley with a toxic power, ask it your question and roll plus spirit. So what are you asking?
I'm gonna say the gist of what I'm getting at is why River? And I basically like I want to destroy River. Is it? Because if I can if I can get back at River, then I could potentially like also parlay my own way towards team captain. Kind of like like saving the honor of my squad kind of thing. So yeah, I'm dude, WTF, River?
All right, so roll plus spirit.
Okay, so my spirit is a 0. But at least I don't get a minus on anything, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's 2d6 as WTF. River. It's still a 6.
Sorry, I didn't mention this earlier, but remember that you should be marking XP anytime you roll a miss.
And her name is Brigitte.
Brigitte, great. So I'll come back with my move, but I think that like as you're messaging, Katarina finds where you've headed off to. Katarina, what do you say to Ursula?
I'm just gonna, I guess, where are you? You are.
I'm by the fountains, like the fountain in the green.
Okay. I'm gonna ask if Ursula's okay.
Why would I be okay? Do you know who I ran into this morning? I ran into River this morning. And that frosty bish had no remorse whatsoever.
Katarina's gonna be like shocked that you said the B word. I mean, but that's no reason to like. You should just like you know what the Bible says. You turn one. It's a saying. You turn one cheek or something like that. What is the actual saying? It's been a while since Bible school. You know that saying. Turn the other cheek. Turn both of your cheeks.
Do you? And then Ursula glares at you for a minute, and you're like, you realize that that's saying to just let someone keep hitting you, right?
Eventually they'll stop, right?
Has anyone ever stopped?
Well, no one really I don't know. I've not really been in that situation, so.
Really? There's this moment of disbelief. It's just like, you've never been bullied. Really? Okay.
At least I don't think I have.
This poor sweet child.
Anyway, what's wrong besides River? I mean, you can't. You have to not think about her. Otherwise, you'll just get negative emotions all over you.
If you have us, they're kind all over me already. Why do people keep telling me I shouldn't be upset by this? Why are you all so chill about it?
I'm just saying maybe we should just take a chill day.
And Ursula looks at the phone where Brigitte has left her on red, and is just like, I'm trying to, and that doesn't even seem to be working for me.
Well, we have a couple hours before cheer practice. We could go do something.
Ursula finally takes this moment and is like, have you even actually been introduced? Wait, no, yes, because I know you have a crush on Christina.
Yeah.
And I do not approve of it. But I think that this is possibly the first time I'm looking, I'm like, and I'm going to use my move Lust at First Sight. When I become smitten with someone I barely know, declare my undying love and give them a string on you.
Oh my God. I think I didn't look at Christina though. This would be interesting.
Too bad. Because Ursula just takes a moment and looks at you, and then pulls the Ursula, which is what I'm calling this, where she just walks over, laces her arm through yours, and then squeezes up on you. And says, fine. Where are we going?
And Katarina's gonna be like, so like this is the first time probably any female has gotten this close. uh, to the mall.
So she thinks about it and is like, let's go to the other mall, the one on the other side of town. I was at the other mall, like I was at the first mall yesterday.
Okay.
So just to resolve the move real quick, you get a string on me, and I have the condition smitten now.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And you have a question that you ask when you become smitten with someone.
Oh yeah, let's see. I'm smitten. Okay, so my smitten question is, so which way does it go? So I'm smitten with Katarina. So whose question do we answer?
Yours.
Mine. Okay. So why would our romance never last?
Why would our romance ever last? I think that Katarina likes stability in her relationships. She wants to settle down. She's like a, you know, maybe a very vanilla type of person.
Okay. And Katarina, I think that you should probably roll the emotional support move. It sounds like you're
Okay.
trying to support Ursula.
Let me see. Roll heart or spirit?
Or
Plus
spirit.
3 if I spend the string. Can I spend the string that I just got, or?
Yeah, you can. You can roll it first and then decide if you want to spend the string. Like if you roll high, you might not need to.
Okay. What's my spirit? I think it's also 1. Where's no, it's 0. So I guess I'll do heart. Oops. Plus 1. I got an 8.
So on an 8, Ursula will be able to clear a condition or take one of those other options. If you want to spend the string, that'll take it up to a 10 plus, and then you can also choose one of the options.
Okay. Do you want let's see, to clear more than one condition?
So Ursula gets to choose what Ursula's going to do with it. You just need to decide if you want to spend the string, and then you'll also get a benefit for Katarina from the move.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and spend it.
Okay.
Might as well.
And which of the options will you take for Katarina?
Either plus 1 or clear condition, but you did say you wanted to keep all your conditions earlier, so it's really.
Well, no, it's for you though.
So we each get to choose those things. So I'm going to choose to clear one of my conditions, and then Katarina also gets to choose one of those things.
Right.
Actually, Ursula, you actually get to choose 2 of the options because you're smitten with Katarina.
Oh. Cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, then I'll give you plus 1 forward.
No. So Katarina, you take something for yourself. You don't
myself,
just give something. Yeah.
Oh, can I take plus 1 forward for myself?
Yeah.
So I don't need condition. Okay.
Yeah. So just remind me whenever you want to use your plus 1 forward. And so Ursula, are you going to clear 2 conditions?
I am, although I have a question. So what happens when you, like, is there any special resolution mechanic? Because I looked even at the core book and everything, I was curious, is that what happens when you like hit all of your conditions? Like, is there like a meltdown or anything like that? Like, or just are you just out of the scene that you cleared in?
I was quickly trying to work this out while we were playing just now because I wasn't quite sure either. My understanding is that you are defeated and taken out of the scene, and then I assume that you come back sometime later with your conditions cleared. I don't actually know. I'll look that up during the break because we're about to go to a break, and you're welcome to wait and decide what you want to do, and I'll check that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I am going to make, though, the hard move from your parlay with a toxic power before we go to the break. So you head off to the mall arm in arm with your new beloved, your new crush, and you get a message back from Brigitte, who is telling you how you could get revenge on or leverage on River. And she says that, well, River has a big crush on you. If you were to hook up with her, I bet you could get her to do whatever you want. And I think Katarina almost sees the message over your shoulder, but not quite. And let's take another 10-minute break. So we'll just come back at 10 minutes past the hour.
Okay.
Sweet.
So much drama to unravel.
I know. I think that I'll have to try and schedule an extra session to unravel some of these threads.
You're welcome.
So is everyone good to continue? Cool. So I'm keen to frame ahead to tonight's training scene where we'll unravel some more drama, but I just want to check in about whether there's stuff that you want to set up or scenes that you want to play out before then. I mean, especially Katerina and Ursula have just headed off to the mall together, and Ursula has some business that she may want to attend to. Do you think anything of note happens at the mall, or is there anything that you want to follow up while you're there?
Maybe I talk about, I try to get Ursula to tell me more about Christina without being too obvious.
Ursula blithely ignores any attempt that you make to talk about other girls and basically repeats almost frame for frame the exact same flirting that she did with Ashley the day prior, including holding up extra tight blouses and being this would look really good on you and all of the things.
Yeah, you probably convinced me to buy one of the outfits at the mall.
Success.
Well, I think Ursula needs to roll to entice as well.
I could do that, and I unchecked the insecure so that I'm not
Right.
on the. Let's do this. Okay, so that's 2d6. Entice, that is with
Plus
daring
heart,
or heart.
Oh yeah, you're right. I know, just plus heart.
Is it just heart? Ah, okay. Well, my heart is a -1, so it's a minus either way. And it failed.
Do you have a string that you can spend?
Wait, no, because I'm smitten on her, not the other way around. So
yeah.
And I have 6 XP.
Well, I mean, you can spend that for an advance.
We'll
spend 5 for an advance, I think. Oh, and sorry, I was going to answer your question about what happens if you mark a sixth condition. I'm just going to read from the text. If you ever have to mark a 6th condition, you're defeated, which means you're taken out of the action for the scene. You might faint, rant uselessly in incoherent rage, curl up in a ball, or get knocked out, whatever the details. You can't act until the following scene, and you still have all 5 conditions marked at the start of that scene.
Okay, so we did play that right. Good to know. Yes, my flirtations apparently went completely unnoticed.
I wouldn't say I noticed, but Katarina has no idea what to do. I mean, you're being awfully forward, so.
I mean, I wonder if Ursula needs to stagger at being so forcefully rejected.
Rejected again. What is the stat? Let's look at stagger.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. With 4 to 5 conditions. Oh my gosh.
I'm not hating it, but I'm not
It seems like you're not really picking up what she's putting down.
Yeah. I'm picking up the thing next to the thing she's putting down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what happens. So, Kaylee was also at the mall and witnessed this happening. And I am utterly humiliated, and news will spread.
Nice.
Because Kaylee saw me throwing myself at a church girl.
How interesting.
How do they? How do they know I'm a church girl?
Well, Kaylee is also a church girl, so
Oh,
like
okay.
there's maybe
Yeah.
like a Christian group at school or something, or at least
Okay.
you kind of know each other.
Like fellowship club or something.
Sure.
Kaylee is my Bible study buddy. Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
So Ashley, do you do anything? Are there any scenes that you want to frame during the school day?
Not really. I think I'm geared up towards practice tonight.
What about you, Madison?
I would like to have a quick scene with Ashley if I could.
I'm sure you
Okay.
can find Ashley somewhere at school.
Yeah. I think I catch up with her like between classes. Hey Ashley, how you doing?
Oh, not so bad. About as well as I could be, considering.
Considering, yeah, a lot's been going on, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And I thought cheerleading would be boring at this school.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but this was, well, just more than what I expected.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen, and I like reach in my bag and like, hey, and I hand her a bottle of water because I know you haven't drunk enough of this today.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're welcome.
And she'll drink, open it and drink some right away because she's being excessively polite about it.
And I pop one myself. So tonight's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I've been praying over it tonight. I really think I have something to say to the team that should help inspire them.
Good. You know what? You should. Because you know what? You've always been, when you speak from the heart, you're always really inspiring.
Aw, thanks.
You're welcome.
You can almost see the hearts.
Just make sure you're speaking from the heart. It can be really easy to like feel like you're speaking from the heart, but what you're really speaking from is like anger or fear.
Oh, I
Fear is
know.
the big thing with me right now.
But I feel filled with the Spirit.
Good. Go with that. Yeah. Anyway, I got to get to class, but see you tonight, right? And I offer
Yes.
like the world's most awkward fist bump.
But she.
So I am trying to offer emotional support there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
With heart or spirit?
That will be with heart.
Oh, well, mark XP. Do you have a string that you want to spend to bring that up to a 7?
You know what? I do have a string, so I will bring that up to 7.
All right. So the question then is for Ashley. Do you open up to Madison in response?
Oh, definitely.
All right. So then you can choose one from that list, Ashley. Clear a condition, mark XP, 1 forward, plus 1 forward, or gain insight, or declare a fact.
Sorry to jump in there. I believe Ashley is smitten with Madison.
Ah, yes, I think you're right.
Yes. So I get 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 2 options. Thanks for picking that up.
Or declare something that changes or adds. So I'll mark XP and get some insight on who should I be focusing my efforts on the team to really help pull us together. Who's the trouble spots?
Yeah, so you're asking about who you should be wary of or who you should be trusting. Like, you know what I mean? Is it more about who's the positive force in the team I should go with, or who's the negative force in the team I need to watch out for?
I think the positive force to go with. You know, how can I get some help? You know, I've got my own ideas of what to do, but
yeah. I mean, I think that you feel you need to, like, someone needs to bring the team together. You probably have the sense, like, word's gotten around that Brittany is like canvassing votes, like trying to lock up the new captain role. And sorry, I just asked you what you wanted. I'm going to give you almost the exact opposite answer than what you asked for. But I think you have the feeling that, like, what you need is to make sure that Brittany does not become captain. If Brittany's captain, it's going to go badly for the team. It's going to go well for Brittany, but not for anyone else, really.
Nice.
So that might mean supporting either Ursula or Madison for the captain role. Maybe even a new teammate might step up. Or maybe you want to step up, but you know, someone is going to have to challenge Brittany, or she's going to. It's all going to be about her. So you all get to training after school that night. Katerina, what we established last time is that the training facility for the cheer squad is extremely expensive. There's all kinds of fancy props and staging and a juice bar / coffee stand.
Wow.
Very well appointed. As you arrive, you all find out that Coach isn't there. She's at some sort of meeting or something. It's very unusual for Coach not to attend, but it does happen from time to time. Like, it's not unprecedented. She's just left instructions to you all to, you know what you need to do. Go ahead without me. I'll try and get there by the end. And so people are a little unfocused. Brittany is visibly, again, like canvassing for votes. She's talking to different people, asking them about who they're thinking would make a good captain. She's trying to make a case for herself. I don't think she's approached any of you directly yet, except that she's spoken to Madison and Katerina separately. Ashley, I'm interested to start with you. What do you want to do here?
Actually, I think the first thing I'm going to do is find Ursula and see if I can talk to her about talking her into being team captain.
Interesting. So what do you say?
Yeah, so Ursula, what do you think about being captain yourself? We'll just.
Ursula doesn't even like look at you. She's just like doing like some sort of calisthenics or something, and just like keeps like looking straight forward, and is just like already working on it.
Really? Can I help?
Ursula thinks about the fact that her plan involves seduction, and then like actually does look over at Ashley, and then looks back and says, "No, I don't think so."
Well, just let me know.
Actually, I think there might be something you can do. And then she actually like turns towards you, walks over and puts hands on your shoulders and says, find out how many people are really pissed at River and what they do if she came back.
Okay.
Ursula, do you want to spend a string to like get Ashley to do that, or you're just asking?
Well, I mean, I have the string, so I might as well use it. So, at any time, spend a string on someone to do one of the following. Offer them an XP to do something. So, yeah, Ashley, I'm offering you an XP to go around and dig up dirt on how people really feel about River's betrayal and what they'd do if she came back and ask for forgiveness.
You're on mute, Shane.
Thank you. We'll come back to you in a sec, Ashley, and see how you're going with that. Katarina, I just wanted to check in with you. Like, this is your first time, I think, even attending the training. What does Katarina do? Like, do you start doing cartwheels? Do you hang awkwardly off the edge? Like, what?
I think I would probably. I mean, I just came from the mall with Ursula. I think I would hang out with Ursula and like maybe Ashley a little bit, but like I'm not trying to get suspicions on me with Madison, so I'm not gonna like too closely.
You don't want people to know that you're friends with Madison? That's so harsh.
No, I don't think that I want to know that I'm friends with. I just feel like I'm doing something illegal. So
Okay.
I don't. So maybe I like go and ask Ursula for like tips or like what I should be doing or like exercises, like how to do a back handspring or something.
Ursula, will you? Yeah. Go on.
Yes, this is actually an excellent time to start illustrating my skills as a coach. And so I'm definitely going to use this as an opportunity to like show Katarina the ropes, but also like do like, you know, like try to highlight my abilities to the team.
Is there a move you want to roll in connection with that? Maybe it's more like entice, or maybe it's more like, we were using the sort of fight analog move to generally be about impressive cheer displays.
I mean, is this maybe defy danger? Like a socially dangerous situation?
Yeah, maybe. Like, what's the danger that you'd be concerned about?
Yeah, so I'm concerned that I would come across as, like potentially like domineering or like, like a know-it-all or something like that, when I really just want to come across as like smart and compassionate.
Yeah, okay, I buy that.
You're worried people will think you're bullying me.
Oh my goodness. They're like, look at her bend that poor girl into a pretzel. Stop it.
I mean, really what I'm hearing is that the danger is that people won't want you to be the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe with grace, or what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking it's with like wit, because it's like not trying to show off my knowledge and my like capabilities.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's a 2d6 plus 1 train like coaching roll, and that is an 8.
7 to 9. The GM will offer you a hard choice or success with a sacrifice. Interesting. So I'll come back to you. Madison, what are you up to while this is going on?
The first thing I do when I walk in is I check and make sure that Ursula has a water bottle. And if she doesn't, I walk over to her with a bottle of water from like the water stand and like hand it to her with that expression that she remembers from when we were dating, which is like, drink some fudge and water.
It's like there's product placement in the film is sponsored by Perrier or something, Mount Franklin.
Okay, but now that you've said that, like, Ursula just kind of like begrudgingly looks at the bottle, takes it, opens it up, takes a sip, and then like does like the very like K-drama kind of thing, looks at it, it's like, and then like goes back to coaching Katerina.
All I expected, all I wanted. I grab Ashley, and I grab Elton and Craig, and we do workout. We do some working out. We work out some moves. We work out. Yeah, we basically try and coach each other. You're muted again, Shane.
I will get used to that one day. It's only been like 12 months of online video platforms. So Ursula, like you succeed in the sense that like people do see that you're like doing a good job with this new girl, but Brittany is the one who sees through you. Like she immediately sizes up what's going on, and she's going to take a string on you that way. That's your sort of mixed success. And Brittany is going to round up Madison and like, come on, let's get your friend onto the team. And comes over to where the two of you, Ursula and Katerina, are practicing. Ashley, if you want to like, follow along or hang back or do whatever you want to do, that's fine. So Katerina, you have the opportunity now to try out for the team, to show off what you've got.
Boy.
There's also somewhat awkward girl named Trina who, oh sorry, that's almost your name. Let's have something different. Named Kim, who is going to try out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably want you to roll to strike out with words or cheerleading to see if you make the team or how you make the team. But if you want to suggest another move that you could make that would be better, you're welcome to do that.
Which move is it?
So it's a move that's like custom for this game. So it's on the moves tab in the character keeper, not on the reference sheet. You're also welcome to just defy danger if you want. That would also make sense.
Okay. Well, I just didn't know what to roll. Plus daring or plus grace. Oh gosh. I don't think I have. Let me see. I have grace. Okay.
Like you're also welcome if you want, if there's something that you think would be more like what Katerina would do, like it's less like she's trying to do spectacular cheerleading and more like she's trying to, I don't know, like entice the audience or, something like that. You're welcome to suggest another move that is closer to how you see this.
No, I think that Katerina is gonna do one of the moves that Ursula taught, like in that small section. What do you think would be like a move that you taught me? Something cool or something flashy? You're like, wow, this will really wow the group.
Ursula, did you have a move in mind?
I am so sorry. I got a text message at the point, so it could.
It's okay.
Bring me up to speed.
I was just wondering, like, what would be a move that you would teach Katerina to like show up, like a super awesome move? You know what I mean?
I think. So cartwheels were kind of your thing, right? So everybody's familiar with your cartwheels, and I think that, like, with a little bit of coaching from Ursula, she's taking your cartwheels from like standard cartwheels to like no hand somersaults, like.
Okay, yeah. So I just roll plus. Oh, I still have that +1 forward. I never used. I don't think I've made a roll since then.
Yeah. So you're welcome to decide after you roll whether you want to apply the +1 forward.
Okay, I'll roll first then. Let's see.
All right, so the +1 isn't going to help you. That's
Right.
a mixed success. So on a 7 to 9, choose one, and your opponent will also choose one. So
Trina.
Kim, you can choose to gain a string, inflict a condition, create an opportunity, or take something from them. Like, sorry.
I'm not really sure how I would take something from the opponent.
Well, I mean, can I suggest that like one thing that would make sense is that you take the spot on the team? Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking. Okay, that I was thinking.
It can be very like it can be quite abstract what you take from them.
I was just like trying to imagine like I do a cartwheel and like take her scrunchie or something. How would that work? Okay, yeah, no, that works. That works finally. That works.
All right. But she gets to choose one as well. So she's gonna inflict a condition on you. So you can choose what condition.
Okay.
But yeah, it's tough. You know, you're a little worn down emotionally by the conflict.
Do I choose which one I want to take?
Yeah, sometimes I'll tell you to mark a specific one, but here you can just do whichever one feels right.
I think I should feel insecure here. Like maybe Trina says something scathing about how I can only do cartwheels.
Yeah. Cool. Ursula, Brittany will take this opportunity to talk to you. Says, well, your little protege, is it? On the team now? You must be very proud.
It's merely a step on the path. I'll get there, where I really want to be.
Where do you want to be?
At the top of the pyramid, of course.
She snorts a little derisively. She says, we'll see who's on top.
I would love to take this time to I have a string on Brittany, and so I want to use that string to get her to back down on being the coach. Yeah.
How does the string work?
Okay, so influence with a string, you can spend a string on someone to do one of the following. And then there's find out what it will take to get them to do what you want. For an NPC, spending the string means they may simply agree.
Okay, I'll come back to you in a sec. I need to think about that a little. Ashley, you set off to hustle some information. How are you going about that?
Very badly.
So tell us about the conversations that you're having.
Yeah, so it's pretty much you'll just sidle up to people and say, "Oh, so what do you think about what River did last night?" You know, just trying to seem like she's, trying to gain their confidence, but very ham-handedly.
Yeah. Ursula, can I just ask in terms of what you wanted from Ashley, is there anyone in particular that you wanted information about, or are you trying to get more of a, like, you're just wanting the information generally?
You just like get the overall like mood and tone of the squad. Like I'm assuming that there are people who are like, scorched earth, but I kind of want to get a sense of like if I were to somehow convince River to come back to the squad and like do like a double agent thing, if people would be amenable to that and if it would help me secure my spot as the captain.
Interesting. All right. So, just thinking about how to play this out mechanically.
As was I.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm open to like Greg, how you might want to play it out. I think that a couple of ways that would make sense are just to defy danger, where the danger is that you won't really get what you need and you'll look a bit foolish. Or you could like sort of frame a scene where you offer some emotional support to someone who was hurt by what River did, and then if you're successful on that move, you could use it to declare something about the fiction. Like what sounds good to you?
I think just the straight up defy danger seems good. Using wit,
Yep.
which probably not a great stat for me. Yep, -1. So,
I mean, it could also be hard, I think, like charm or social insight.
no, I think she's trying to be sort of sneaky about this, and is just not very good at it. So, let's see. So -1. Ooh,
Oh,
not
the
great.
okay.
I mark XP.
You do mark XP. So I think, all right. So you don't really get a good sense of how many people are or how mad people are at River per se. You definitely get the sense that the squad as a whole is quite demoralized, as you might expect. You find out that Brittany has been telling people that once she's elected captain, she will forfeit nationals. There's just no way that the squad can do it this year. We can start rebuilding for next year when we've got a real shot. And that approach clearly is resonating for a lot of people who don't really believe that they can like come back from what's just happened. But not really clear like how mad they are at River per se, or what River coming back would mean. You relay that to Ursula?
Yeah, definitely the bit about her plans if elected captain. Yeah, just people really didn't want to talk about River, but here's something I found out.
So, Ursula, I think I'm just going to sort of turn your move back to you. So you wanted to know like what it would take to get Brittany to back down. I'm just going to ask that of you. Like, what do you do to convince Brittany to back down? If you want, I'll go to someone else and you can think about it for a sec.
No, I think I've got an idea.
Okay.
I think I basically say I'd like to just say that like Ashley did tell me what Brittany's plan was, and I basically say I convince her that the pulling out of nationals is just going to be the worst thing that she could do for her image as a captain, and that the deal that I'm going to broker is that if she lets me be captain and we fail anyway, I'll cede the spot to her next year.
Okay, she takes this deal. I guess it means that she will also go back to Madison and tell you that our deal is off. I'm not even going to stand for captain anymore. You want to vote for someone, you vote for Ursula.
I think there is literally a moment of
do you
did
need to
you
stagger?
hit your head? I do I need to stagger from that? Actually, you know what? I will stagger from that. I think I hesitate or stumble and the opposition gains an opportunity.
Oh, interesting. But you, so just continue to play out the scene. Like,
Okay.
what?
Did you hit your head?
Madison, you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. You talk a lot for someone who's always telling other people to shut up. You heard what I said. I didn't hit my head. You don't need to know why. You don't need to know what. Just need to do what we said.
So I have a move called Who's the Monster? When you expose the hypocrisy of someone who is supposedly virtuous, roll plus daring. I'd like to use that move now.
So how do you expose her hypocrisy? Like to the whole gym?
I think I'm going to expose it to her. Like I'm going to make her face what's going on. You know, a couple of hours ago, you were willing to broker a deal to get this captainship. And 24 hours ago, you were willing to let one of your best friends go to the hospital to get this spot. And now you're backing off. What do you really care about, Brittany? What do you care about? Is it really just getting your name in lights?
Well, go ahead and roll your move.
Okay. And this is going to be +2 because it's daring. An 11.
Cool. Gain a string and choose one.
Mm-hmm. The one that I want to choose is you would impress an onlooker. Gain a string on them.
Okay.
I don't know that this impresses Brittany so much, but I think somebody is there anyone in particular who thinks they would overhear this conversation?
I guess I can.
Okay. And that gives me a string on Katerina.
Cool. So, Katerina, your destiny is to be the leader of your church.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that being at training, like that coming here rather than going to your after school activity, might trigger your fated day approaches move. So whenever you miss an opportunity to progress towards your destiny, choose one. So choose one of your options.
Probably the first one makes the most sense because I can't think of a way that someone would be hurt with this specific scenario. So it says someone with power over you makes an uncomfortable demand in furtherance of your destiny, backed by a threat.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to be clear, that's fine as as an answer. Like, I'm happy to go with that. But if you want to choose the other one, like, you don't have to figure out how it makes sense. I have to figure out how it makes sense. Like,
okay.
We can work with whatever you feel.
I think it would be more dramatic if it was the second one.
Okay.
Someone I care about is hurt enough to make him stagger.
Okay.
And it could be any of you now.
All right. So I will come back to you with that.
Okay.
Okay. And who do you think is the PC that you care the most about?
It's kind of hard here now because like Ursula helped me and I'm in this weird illegal scheme with Madison. I like sympathize her. Like me and Ashley are like, what? We've got similar backgrounds. So and there's Christina. So like
No, it's gonna be a PC, so just
yeah. Probably Madison, I think, would make the easiest will make it the easiest because of the whole like they're helping me get away with not being at church and that. And now we're in a legal scheme together, so.
So, Madison, I will come back to you in just a moment with some news bad enough to make you stagger. So, just something nice for you to look forward to. The Ursula, there's a moment when Brittany will just call everyone together to elect a new captain. Sort of glancing at you as she does so, and it's clear to you as you look around that lots of people here are expecting to elect Brittany as the new captain of the squad. But instead, Brittany announces loudly to everyone that she's thought about it and she's decided that it's not her time to step up as captain, and she'll cede the floor to anyone else who has anything to say right now. And people look surprised. There's a lot of confusion. Ursula and anyone else, what do you say?
I mean, is Ashley gonna make a speech? But because I took this new move. It's called Heat of the Moment. When I taunt someone into a course of action they secretly want to do anyway.
Okay.
I can just roll it on the whole team.
Ashley, do you want to say anything first?
But my planned speech is about unity. So I'm sort of waiting to see who we decide and then working to get everyone to throw their weight behind them.
All right. So, Ursula, I would love for you to roll to taunt the whole team into electing you captain.
It was not a failure. It's a 7. Oh my gosh, the dice room hates me. Okay, cool.
Well, you can choose one, I guess. You can create an opportunity for you, or you can take a string on the whole team. I think the opportunity makes sense here.
Yeah, I think I would take the opportunity aspect.
So you are unanimously elected as the captain. Do you say anything? Like, is there a speech that you make?
Yeah, it's the cliff notes of it is basically like we don't let anybody make fools of us, and we're gonna show them that we can blood, sweat, and tears with the best of them, and we're gonna take nationals. They think they swept the rug out from under us, but we're gonna sweep the entire fucking floor from them.
Ashley, do you want to say something at this point?
Yeah, my speech was basically about how, where I come from, we're taught that faith can move mountains. And after the events of last night, I know you were all very down, but I think if we, set our sights on our dreams and have faith that we can reach it, that we can turn everything around.
So nice.
And I think Ursula is just the one to help us chase our dreams.
Is there a move that you're trying to trigger, or you're just making not just, but you're just inspiring everyone?
I'm probably just inspiring everyone because I couldn't find a move that seemed to fit.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome. So there is this like upbeat, there's this like sense of hope and unity in the gym, and then the door slams open. Coach walks in. She's visibly angry and upset. In fact, she pulls the whistle from around her neck and throws it at the floor. and she says, "Those goddamn suits don't understand what we've built here. They say that cheerleading is costing the school too much money. They're shutting down the program." And that is where we're going to finish for this week.
Oh, but I
It just gets worse every time.
Well, that's Katarina's move. That's the worst news. So, Madison, you have to stagger.
I'm absolutely staggered from that.
What option do you want to take?
I lash out at someone whose regard matters to me, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, take advantage of a string you hold on them if applicable. Yeah, I don't know what I say, but I definitely lash out at Ashley. I get mad and I say something really, really stupid to her.
I mean, I would like you to roll then to strike out with words or cheerleading.
Okay. So, quick rules question. Mm-hmm. I'm currently frightened, so I have a -2 to that move. Does that still apply?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is just going to be a regular 2d6. An 8.
So choose one, and your opponent will also choose one.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to hurt her feelings, then inflict a condition probably makes sense.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's not what I want to do, but yeah, inflict a condition.
So Ashley, you can choose what condition makes sense to you.
I think frightened.
All right. And how do you respond?
Kind of medicine I haven't seen.
Cool. And you get to choose one as well. So how do you respond, and how does it produce one of those results? So gain a string, inflict a condition, create an opportunity, or take something.
I think just gain a string on her or on them, because they see how visibly I'm affected by it.
Yeah.
Can't help but regret.
Cool. All right. So that's where we're going to finish up. We're like very close to the scheduled end time, but if people just have a couple of extra minutes, I'd like to do a round of stars and wishes. If anyone needs to jump off like on the dot on the hour, that's okay. Let's go left to right across the character keeper. So starting with Daryl.
Okay, so stars. Let's see here. Well, stars to Ashley for attempting to deal with an angry Ursula in a number of really creative and pleasant ways. I felt a little guilty biting off her head. It was wonderful. Stars to Katarina for also attempting to find some way to comfort Ursula. There's a lot of comforting Ursula this episode. But like also just like, you know, playing it cool when all of these weird feelings get awoken in you, like, and also like phasing Ursula out. I thought that was great. Like the little baby gay feelings was great. And then Joe, I love how you're kind of leaning into the conniving aspect of your playbook. I was like kind of surprised with the whole like dark dealings kind of thing, like subterfuge and triple agent kind of thing. So I thought that was great too. And then Shane, you managed to keep the ball rolling. So congrats. Like it's been great. I'm having a great time.
Any wishes?
Oh, okay. Wishes. I really do want to have like some sort of like scene with River where I can potentially try to instigate whatever that like hint was from my ex and see if I've been set up or not, because I kind of feel like I've probably been set up, but we'll see what happens. And I want like, I assume we're gonna do like some sort of cheer competition next session, just in case we actually do wrap up next session. So
Yeah, so just to speak to that, I would like to try and schedule an extra session if we can so that we end up with 4. I don't know how likely we are to match up our schedules, but I'll send out an email with like a when is good link and try and work out if there is a time that we can all make. Or failing that, maybe just extend by an hour next week if that would work for people. But let's like resolve that over email because I feel like it's too hard to do on the spot. Chris, have you done Stars and Wishes before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
This is really fun playing with you guys for the first time. Thanks for not being weird for the most part. So I guess I'll go in my camera order. Shane, I wasn't really sure what to expect. With not playing with you before, but it was very smooth. I didn't really feel like there were a lot of gaps, I guess, you know what I mean? Like empty spaces where nothing's really happening. So that was nice. Madison, thanks for Joe, I guess. Thanks for rolling with the ball, dragging me along in scenes where, Katarina's kind of the newbie, doesn't know what to do, and doesn't have an established place. So it was nice to piggyback. Actually, we didn't really get to interact too much, but I hope we will. I think we could play up the whole background similarity thing next time. So, and Ursula, Daryl, it was fun. Even with you showing off your goods. Yeah, I did really want to play up like the whole young, innocent, yeah, like you said, baby gay thing, and you played into that really well too. So, yeah.
and any wish for the next session?
Maybe Katarina's first kiss.
I really hope we can accommodate that. Great. Greg.
Yes. So stars for Ursula for your commitment to the drama. I love it, and I especially liked the scene with you taking Katarina to the mall as a sort of parallel to the scene with Ashley. That was great. And also stars to Madison for the conniving. Yeah, I loved how you went in on it this time and really, kind of showed us an unsavory aspect of your character. It's fun to dig into that. Stars to Katarina for being willing to sort of jump right in there and roll with the drama. It was nice to have you join the group and just jump right in on things. And stars to Shane for a highly entertaining session. I do actually love the big twists, and you've done a great job at, I think, moving along and in involving all of us. So much appreciated there. Wishes, I do want to get more into the backgrounds with Katarina and Ashley. I feel like our backgrounds kind of started out similar, and I maybe want to see how we differentiate ourselves. Part of me thinks Ashley should take a bad girl turn, but we'll see how this goes. So.
Amazing. Thank you. And Joe.
Hi, everybody. So stars to Shane for really committing to the part of this game that's about like the internal drama, while at the same time keeping the sort of high energy and like the high swashbuckling energy. Like we still have that, even though we're not doing a lot of actual like sword or cheer fighting. Stars to Daryl. I love how Ursula like Ursula has this flightiness to her, but at the same time, she has this realness. She's a character that like I empathize with her a lot, which is not something I expected, and I'm really enjoying that. Stars to Chris. Yeah, thank you so much for jumping in with both feet. This whole like I'm innocent, so I'm going to find a way to cause trouble with my innocence is just so so perfect. Greg, thank you for jumping in with me on Madison and Ashley and where that's going to go. And for again, like leaning into the whole I'm just going to go forward with what I think is best, even though it's probably not a good idea. So leaning into that is just, again, so perfect.
And a wish?
A wish for next time. I definitely want to do some cheer fights. I definitely want to have a chance to, again, to have like emotional scenes with everybody like we've been doing before. And I would like to try and resolve one of the two entanglements that I have. And I'm not sure which one, but yeah, I'd like an opportunity to resolve those.
Sweet. So I just want to offer stars to everyone. Like I said last week, I've wanted to run a cheerleading game for ages, and I feel like today really delivered on what I want, like out of that genre, that vibe. I had such a good time. I'm really happy with the group dynamic of like two, like not to simplify too much, but two good girls and two bad girls. I think that gives me like such a good set of tensions to work with, so I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited for next week. And like I said, I'll message you to try and work out if we can schedule an extra session. Just before we finish up, is everyone okay if I post this video on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sweet. Well, thanks so much, everyone. I can't wait for next week.
Are we going to do the end of session move?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Good question. I edited the end of session questions to make them more relevant to the kind of genre. So the edited version's on the moves tab, I think. Is it? Where did it go? I'm sure I put it somewhere.
Yeah. End of session
There
questions.
It is. Yeah. Scroll down further.
Okay. Right. So everyone gets 1 XP for every question here that we can answer a yes to. Did any PC confess their love or ask someone out? Yeah. So that's 1 XP for everyone. Any PC struck a blow for sportspersonship or the honor of cheerleading?
I sort of feel like in a roundabout way I did. That's certainly what I was going for.
Yeah, I think that both you and Ursula plausibly did that, even Ashley with the motivational speech.
Yeah.
Any PC leapt into danger with daring and panache?
I mean, I leapt into a lot of dangerous situations, but did I do so with daring panache or with reckless abandon? I think it was a reckless abandon. Does that count?
All right, so maybe not that one for this week. And any PC used a safety tool. So we went over lines and veils, so I'll call that a yes. If you have 5 XP, or I assume it's 5 XP, I haven't actually checked this, then you can take an advance for next time. All right, thanks so much, everyone. I'm super excited for next week. I'll see you then.
Well,
Bye.